Hello and welcome to Rochelle Rogers. Just real quick, I wanted to come on here and talk about the protests that were happening in California against the ICE raids. So yesterday was June 8th, I believe, 2025, and the administration sent the National Guards out to the protest in California. The Latinas and the Hispanics were protesting the ICE raids, rightfully so, understandable. And apparently the administration said that the state of California was not handling it properly, so they decided to send out the National Guard. Now, we all know that this is an attempt to start martial law, right? He wants bad to have just complete and total control over everything, right? So I feel that he used this as an excuse to bring the National Guard out, because here soon he wants to have a military style parade for his birthday, and I think he needs a reason to be like, oh, okay, they did so well diffusing the protest in California, let's have a parade, but really it's for him and his birthday. Because if you don't have like a legit reason, it's going to be like, what are you doing? So in order to give that military parade some substance, he needs an excuse. And I think that this is what he did, because there have been so many protests, especially April 5th. If you wanted to, bring out some National Guards, you've had plenty of opportunities, because there have been plenty of protests. But the difference is the skin color. And I was talking to a friend of mine about that just yesterday, and just recently I heard on the radio station I'm listening to, they spoke on it, and so that's what made me just want to go ahead and hop on here and just put my 2 cents in. So he has, if you ask me, he has been wanting to, bring out martial law, bring out the National Guards, but he just has not had a real legit reason. And he could have used any of the protests that have been going on against him at any given time if he wanted to, but the difference is the skin color. So I feel like he really wanted to pull out the National Guards and the military on black people, but we never did jump out there. So at first, they poked us and poked us and poked us. At the beginning of his term, when they first announced that he was president, it was like eerily quiet. And that's what my friend was saying then. He was like, it's so quiet, it's kind of weird. And reflecting back on that, I feel that it was quiet because they were waiting on black people to be mad, jump out in the streets and start protesting. And that didn't happen, you know what I mean? Even when I went to work the next day, I could tell, people trying to pick me, test my temperature to see if I'm mad, because we had, the new president, and they were trying to rub it in my face that third candidate won. But I would love to see how they're feeling about that now. But the point is, I think the first thing they did to try to poke with us, I believe, taking away the black history, the notable black figures. Then they wanted to take out the black history in the schools. And then they wanted to take down the Black Lives Matter mural. And like I said, they thought that was going to get us out there, because they just tried too hard. First they showed the picture, the Black Lives Matter mural. Oh, we going to get rid of it. See, we got the paint and the brushes, we ready. Nobody said anything. Then they showed the picture with the bulldozers and things. Nobody said anything. So then they went on to the museum, the African American Museum of History and Culture at the Mall of Washington. So I feel like they have just been doing, meaning the administration, have been doing so many things to try to poke the black culture, and we have not jumped out there and giving them the response that they want, right? So they were banking on us being emotional and just jumping out in the streets and acting a fool, so that way they could further go to the next steps to further their agenda. Because the fact of the matter is, America has labeled blacks with the horrible reputation. They got everybody scared of us. They got everybody thinking, you know, we're not tamed, and, you know, we have to be managed. So if we jump out there and then they send the National Guard and whoever else they're going to send, nobody's going to have any questions. Nobody's going to say anything. Everybody's going to go along with whatever narrative they put behind it, and everybody's going to agree with it, support with it, and then their agenda can move along that much quicker. But if it's, say, all these protests that's been going on, like I said, they've been mainly white people, which I'm glad they are protesting, and please keep it up. But my point is, they are not getting any coverage. There are no signs of authority figures there, no police there. I mean, it truly is a peaceful protest. But how they combat them is to just simply ignore it and not cover it, and that gives the illusion that the general public is accepting what this current administration is doing, because nobody sees anybody protesting about it. But there's protests going on all over the place, right? But if all these protests were black people, okay, what happened in California yesterday at that protest, them sending out the National Guards, that would have been happened a long time ago. And they were banking on black people to jump out there and start acting a fool, but we did not. So this was the first chance, the first opportunity he saw, he took it. Because there's been so many protests where he could have done this already, but it has to be a minority, so that way his base will go along with whatever narrative he pushes forth, right? Because there aren't going to be many questions asked when it's a minority group being treated that way. People are going to believe whatever you say, because, oh yeah, them brown people, they just like them black people. They, you know, we got to watch them too. So that's my theory. I feel that he's been wanting to pull out the National Guard and make things seem like they so bad they gotta have martial law going on so that he can do what he wants to do, and this was the first opportunity. So he took the first opportunity he saw in order to do that, and then that also gives him a little bit of more meat when he starts talking about this military style parade that he wants to have, and reports are saying that it's for him and his birthday. So yeah, so those are just my thoughts on it. I don't know how much more we're gonna be able to take, y'all. I don't know how much more we're gonna be able to take, but it's a lot. It's a lot, man. And we still at the beginning. We still in the first half. Still in the first half, and all this already. It's just a hot mess. Well, I guess next time people vote, they'll look a lot more deep into their candidate, and hopefully you won't just take their word for it, because as we see, their word means nothing. I mean, it just doesn't, and that is just what they have shown, the administration. So just real quick, wanted to put that out there. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Thank you to all my subscribers. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Please share, like, do something. Right? Tell somebody about it, right? Put some comments down, whatever you feel like doing. But I do appreciate everybody, and thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.